Well, hey, Internet, this is Steve at Thousand Year Home. So in the waning hours of a beautiful Saturday, I have a little bit of time on my hand. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this this spot. Let me rotate. So I've been debating the reason why this doesn't have the furring strips in it is I was debating whether or not I was ever going to cut a door in there. It's perfect for a 30-inch door, you know, with the door jambs and everything. But I've decided to seal it off. So I'm going to go ahead and put the furring strips on it. And then you'll see that this one I recessed a little bit because it was going to be a door. And I recessed the doors. But the rest of them stick out a little bit more. It'll be okay. Your eye won't even pick up the difference. I've got one similar to that in the other room. And here is my storage. Of course, it's cheaper than, this was $380 for one of these little wedding tent things, but I've been working on getting this cleaned up. But I'm going to grab, I've got a couple of 2x6s in there. Let me go ahead and get those out. So this was a pretty good deal for me. It let me get everything out. Forgive the disorganization. I'm working on it. It's super hard to work in the house that you live in, but I'm living in there because it forces me to work on it every day. I try to get something done every day on it. And motivation is kind of getting to be a problem for me. I'm working on that. So, but I got to get this thing done. So let me go ahead and get these boards out of here. Tops and bottoms, I do like a 2x4 up here, and then I do a 2x6 down there, and that way I have a little bit of wiggle room for the drywall. A little more surface to nail it to. Those of you who've been watching for a while, you know I don't normally measure, but I can't really get 2x4s in there to just scribe them, so this is easy. Some high quality Home Depot lumber right there. Really, can't hardly use it for anything. Furring strip it is. Ripped all these while they were a little wet and didn't use them right away. Now I have to deal with the warping. So if you rip something, use it. That's the lesson. You can't really see it from there, but it comes out in the middle. I'll have to push it in and just screw it in by force. And I'll do that. because I cut some of these before they were dry, they're treated, they warped, right? So all I do is press them in when I need to place with a board like that. There. And then normally I have a screw gun. I don't know where it is. It's here on a construction site, or it's over at another site. So I'm using a impact driver. There's no reason for it other than I can't find my screwdriver. So sorry about the noise. I'll turn it down a little bit. Anyway, that pulls the warp out of it for me, and I turn them so that if they're warped, that the warp part goes in the top and bottom. And then as I drive it in, then it gets tight, you know, up the top and bottom. So rather than leave the warps out where I'd have to walk them in and then they wouldn't fit anymore. So that's how I handle that. The right thing to do is the day you rip it, to put it up. That's the right thing to do. Sometimes life doesn't let you get away with that much work. I got tired of myself making noise, so I went and found my screw gun. It just took me a little bit. So, listen, when you live off grid, you'll find that it is so quiet sometimes that your ears ring. And I know when years ago we went and visited Abraham Lincoln's family farm, not his birthplace, but his farm there, somewhere in Illinois. And oh my gosh, it was quiet like you've never heard. Anyway, long story short, it's so quiet right now out here that my ears are ringing. I hear a tractor way off in the distance. That's it. Not even birds and bees buzzing. So that impact driver was definitely way too loud. Let me finish this up. Well, the insulation that I have is 15 inches across, and that's 24 inches there. So I could turn it on my side and run it, and it would be okay. You can have 24 inches between, between drywall studs. It'll be okay. Don't know if I want to do that yet, but I'm going to call that one good enough for now. Again, it might eventually be a door in a few years or something, so I'm not going to run conduit in it or anything like that. And it's built slightly different than the rest of this place. That's why I didn't trim it with furring strips. I've got several others to finish up here, a couple around the windows, a couple towards the end of this bedroom. And the reason why I haven't done those yet is the bedroom will have a special door, which I've dreamed about it last night. What I've decided to do, originally I was going to cut the French doors into these doors, but I think that I want to turn those into Spanish mission doors by cutting out the cedar and then chamfering it and making the ribs look like bars and putting some rivets in it. Just make it look Spanish mission. And then the French doors themselves will go right along in here. And that way I can close this up if I go on holiday. That's what I think I'm going to do. Anyway, I didn't finish these because I was debating where I was going to put the doors in. But now that I know, I'll go ahead and finish up the doors here as well. Same process. I'll just keep moving forward. Well, there you have it. That's the same process I've used throughout this shipping container. Post and furring strip. Post and furring strip. Furring strips are just 2x4s. Sometimes depending on what I got, because I buy the twisted stuff. I did, because I'm just cutting it up. So I buy a twisted 2x6, or even I've got some twisted 2x10s for like 80% off. Anyway, behind me is the sunset. I'm wrapping up for the night. I'll rinse and repeat and get the rest of this, furring strips in so I could put in the batting for the mineral wool, as well as the 3/4 inch drywall. And then this whole place will be sound as a pound. So anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate you much. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye.